And another case we're following. A key witness in the Karen Read trial returns to the stand later this morning. Jen McCabe is a witness for the prosecution, and questioning started on Tuesday, and cross-examination is expected to wrap today. McCabe is the sister of a woman who owned the home where Karen Read's boyfriend was found in the snow. And there have been arguments over a Google search McCabe made the day O'Keefe died of, quote, how long to die in cold, end quote. Let's bring in CBS News legal analyst Rikki Klieman, who's been following this trial all along. Rikki, always great to get your insight. Thanks for joining us this morning. What are you expecting from cross-examination today? This is such an interesting case with what's happening in the courtroom.
The case is fascinating, and it has really mesmerized the people of Greater Boston. It's almost all they talk about. They have followed the first trial. The first trial ended with a hung jury after many days of deliberation, meaning the jurors could not reach a verdict. So we have a second trial. And one of the key witnesses, if not the star witness, is the woman you mentioned, Jennifer McCabe. What we have seen so far in cross-examination by Alan Jackson, who is a wonderful defense attorney out of California, who also tried the first case, is he is trying to show that Jennifer McCabe, number one, is a very different Jennifer McCabe than testified in the first trial. In the first trial, she was angry, she was combative, she was short with the defense lawyer, and it did not help her. In trial number two, what we are saying is a very calm and collected Jennifer McCabe, who does not seem to have an axe to grind, but seems to be someone who is just speaking what she saw and what she heard. The cross-examination, which is being done by Mr. Jackson, is really to show that she is trying to hide something, if not a lot of something, and she is trying to embellish the story about what Karen Read did and what Karen Read said. So what I expect today is more of the same from Jackson, and very, very pointed, that she's testified before the grand jury, before other bodies, meaning the first trial, and given police reports, and that each time her story, according to the defense, gets bigger and bigger to put blame on Karen Read.
Now, Rikki, I want to show you and our viewers what happened outside the courtroom yesterday. Karen Read was asked by Wednesday, I should say. She was asked by reporters about a Google search that we mentioned off the top. Let's just play what she said.
I did not tell Jen to make a Google search. I certainly didn't tell her to make the one at 227 either.
What do you make of the fact that she is still speaking with reporters outside? As you mentioned, everyone is paying attention to this where this is happening, especially given the prosecution has used her own words against her.
What you have here is a very important fact. Was there a Google search by Jennifer McCabe of how long does it take to die in the cold, or words to that effect, that was done by Jennifer McCabe, the witness, in the middle of the night, that is at 2:30 in the morning? If that is true, if that timestamp is true, that means that Jennifer McCabe is part of a cover-up that had to do with murdering the police officer, John O'Keefe, in the house by other people. However, if the search is done at 6 in the morning, at the questioning and insistence of the defendant, Karen Read, that means that Karen Read is trying to cover up her own tracks. So what time this search occurred is of critical importance to both sides. As to Karen Read continuing to speak, my suspicion is that she didn't testify in trial number one, so she's not going to testify in trial number two, and she feels a desperate need to get the word out to the court of public opinion.
All right, Rikki Klieman, great to chat with you. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Errol.